I'm sorry if this is just a bunch of rambling. I just need a place to write down everything that has happened and hopefully get some advice on what to do next. My fiancé, 29F, and I, 32M, have been together for about 7 years now. We were supposed to get married next month. Before all of this happened, we had no issues with cheating, or any big fights. This is the first time anything like this has happened between us. About 2 weeks ago, my fiancé approached me and asked me if I would be open to us having a bachelor's and a bachelorette party. This was something that made me really uncomfortable. Personally, I believe that these kinds of parties only serve to encourage infidelity before a couple gets married and that they aren't something I'd be interested in. I expressed that to my fiancé, but she told me that if we did have them, they'd just be friends hanging out with us celebrating our future wedding and that we wouldn't have the stereotypical last night of freedom kind of party. After talking for a bit, and establishing some boundaries, we agreed to have the parties on the same day, which happened to be this past Wednesday. When Wednesday came around, my friends came over to our place for a game of D&D that was supposed to be themed around my character getting married, while my fiancé went out with her friends for a pub crawl. I was having fun with my friends until about roughly 3 hours into our game when one of my fiancé's and I's mutual friends texted me and told me that we needed to talk. Obviously, I immediately became concerned and asked her what was going on, but she said that she didn't feel comfortable discussing over text and said that she'd rather speak to me in person. This really messed me up, and for the next hour, I couldn't really focus on anything else because I kept wondering what could possibly be so important that she wanted to come over and talk to me. By the time she arrived, my friends and I had already wrapped things up, so I was just waiting for her to come. She came in and asked for us to sit down and talk, which is when she revealed to me that my fiancé used the party as an opportunity to cheat on me. I immediately felt like Mike Tyson had punched me in the chest. This was exactly what I was afraid of when my fiancé first approached me about having these parties, and she assured me that was the furthest thing from her mind. Until then, I had no reason not to trust her, so I believed her. I felt so stupid for not seeing this coming. I asked my friend if she was sure of what happened, and she showed me a video of my fiancé kissing some guy at a bar. Apparently this video was shared in a group chat that my fiancé and her friends were on to plan the party. I honestly don't know how I didn't break down crying when I was showed the video. I felt like I was going to throw up. There was the woman that I was supposed to spend the rest of my life with kissing another man while her friends cheered her on. This next part is my friend's recollection of the events that led up to the cheating, so I don't have a whole lot of details. Apparently, my fiancé's maid of honor spent the entire night complaining that I wouldn't let them have a traditional bachelorette party and that I was too controlling and jealous. My fiancé didn't push back on any of it, and just kept drinking and having her fun. At some point, some of the women noticed that she had been getting attention from some of the men, which is when the most started to encourage her to flirt. My fiancé gave some weak resistance, but eventually she gave in and approached one of the guys at the bar. This is the point where our mutual friend became uncomfortable and left the party early. But she was still in the group chat where the video was shared. I thanked my friend for telling me what happened, and asked her to forward me the evidence, along with anything else that might end up being shared with her. After she left was when I finally broke down crying. I then texted my fiancé, telling her that I knew the wedding was off. Just a few minutes later my phone was flooded with text messages from her and her friends. They even tried adding me to the group chat where they shared the video of her kissing the other man. She got home about 30 minutes later. She was crying when she came in and begged me not to call off the wedding. She was telling me that she was drunk and that she didn't know what came over her. She claimed that she didn't do anything other than kissing, and that she loved me. I stayed silent through all of her crying, which I think only made her more desperate. She kept saying how sorry she was, how it would never happen again, and how she would cut off all the friends that were at her party. I told her that I didn't want to talk about what happened, and that the wedding was still off. I also told her that she could call her friends over and have the traditional party she obviously wanted so much because I was leaving. This made her even more desperate and, I kid you not, made her try to block the door to prevent me from leaving. I just stayed silent while packing my bag, then called my sister over and asked her if I could stay with her for a couple of days. I have now been at my sister's house for the last few days, calling friends and family to tell them that the wedding is off. I haven't told anyone other than my sister the reason. I just feel so humiliated. My ex has been calling and texting me every day for the past 2 days. My sister has been offering me support, but I just don't know what to do next. I feel so lost. Despite everything that happened, I still love her. Should I hear my fiancé out? Should I tell people the reason the wedding is off? Is there any hope for reconciliation? Update. Didn't think that I'd be posting an update after everything that has happened, but a lot of people asked for it, and I feel like writing down some of this stuff might help with putting this all behind me. Not really looking for any advice here, just putting my thoughts out there. As I said in the last post, I called off the wedding. At first, I didn't tell anyone the reason, but as people here pointed out, it was something that I had to do if I wanted to get ahead of this. So I started calling people again and let them know exactly why the wedding was off. It was a fucking humiliating experience to tell people my fiancé made out with some other guy while her friends cheered her on, but everyone has been really supportive, especially my parents and my sister. I also called my ex's parents, since they helped with some of the expenses of the wedding, and I want to let them know that they should try to get their deposits back. To my surprise, my ex's mother picked up the phone. She already knew everything that had happened. Apparently, my ex told them everything. I did ask her some questions to see just how much they knew, and everything seemed to line up with what I knew happened. They didn't try to make me stay with my ex or anything. As for my ex herself, she and I did meet once to discuss everything. She begged me for a second chance, and even said that she would cut off her friends who enabled her and suggested that we could go to couples counseling. I told her that I don't want to spend the rest of my life being her warden, making sure that she isn't hanging out with people I don't approve of, and that if we began a marriage already going to couples therapy for something as big as this, then we were already doomed to fail. I also told her that I can't see how I would ever trust her again after she did the exact thing I expressed my concerns about, and that a marriage can't survive without trust. So this is where I am now. I'm single, and I think I'm going to stay that way for a while. It still hurts after spending 7 years together with this woman, but there's just no trust there anymore. Anyway, I don't think I'm going to post any more updates. As far as I am concerned, I am ready to close this chapter of my life. Me, 25F, with my boyfriend, 23M, 3 years, he can't accept that I'm vegetarian and I think he's trying to trick me into eating meat. Me and my boyfriend have been together for 3 years and have lived together for 1 year. I've been a vegetarian since I was 11 years old through my own choice. No one else in my family is veggie. My BF eats meat. Although my dream, ideal partner probably would be a vegetarian, I view this as a Dan Savage price of admission for an otherwise great guy. Usually we cook veggie meals and he adds meat to them. If he wants a meal where that doesn't work, we just cook our own things and eat them together. The cooking works out to about 50-50 and so does the cleaning, so I don't think the problem is with that. He eats meat most days. I have no problem with meat in the flat. I won't cook it, that's all, cause it grosses me out. Meat pizzas and stuff like that I don't mind, but nothing that involves really touching the meat. Recently he's been really obsessed with my vegetarianism in a way he never had before. He's always made stupid jokes, but that's a better reaction than a lot of people. He's proper grilled me about it around 4 times in the past fortnight. Anyone who's been veggie know how annoying those constant conversations are. He started genuinely saying that it's stupid, unhealthy, hipster, all that stuff. I've shown him the studies saying vegetarians usually live longer, that a veggie and even vegan diet is accepted unanimously by dietitians as just as healthy as a meat one. He just doesn't accept it. He has a far worse diet than I do. I don't snack, don't eat fast food, don't have sugary drinks, and he does all the time. We're both slim, however. He's been asking if I'd ever quit a lot too. I'd like to point out that I never bring my vegetarianism up in conversation because usually people just try to lecture you. Whenever we talk about it, he brings it up. Now, there's been a handful of times in the past few weeks when he'll cook a meal for us and I'll notice that it's not vegetarian. Some examples. He made spag bowls saying it was corn when it just obviously wasn't. They don't look the same. When I pointed this out, he just laughed and said it was a brain fart and he forgot, which, okay, whatever, I guess that could happen. He gave me a sandwich with ham on it, another mistake, apparently, since he was making us both them and just put the ham on both, despite this never having been a problem before. He made himself a bacon buddy and asked if I wanted an egg one. I say yes, and when I walk into the kitchen he's using the same pan that he'd used for bacon. He said he didn't know this was a problem when he 100% did because he always swapped pans before this. And it's not about the washing up, because when he cooks, I wash up and the other way around. He made chicken enchiladas and told me they were veggie. Luckily I saw the chicken when I cut it in half. Same excuses, an honest mistake. I thus far haven't accidentally eaten any meat. I've been cooking for myself for the past week, but he keeps offering to cook for both of us. Am I just being paranoid? The idea of him sneaking meat into my food seems crazy, but it really seems like he is. Why would he even bother to do that? Update. So after posting, I stuck to only eating food I'd made and my BF got more and more antsy about cooking for me. I sat him down the next day and asked him the same stuff, If he had a problem with my vegetarianism, why he was trying to contaminate my food. Since I asked why and not if, he blew up. Demanding to know why I didn't trust him, how I could accuse him of this. He also kept trying to get me to explain why I'm veggie in the first place, but he knows this well, so I didn't let him derail the conversation. Eventually, after the most frustrating, circular argument ever, he stormed off to our bedroom. We didn't speak that night or the morning. When I got home the next day, he'd actually gone and cooked an entire chicken for us. He asked me if I'd eat it. It was so surreal. Him stood at the kitchen counter with this cooked chicken asking me to eat it when he's never known me to eat meat, as if we hasn't been arguing about this at all. I didn't even respond. I shouldered my way past him to the fridge, which was a massive mistake. I guess he went a little nuts. I still can't really believe this happened, but he grabbed me by my hair at the back on my head and with another hand tried to force chicken into my mouth. I am still shocked by this. It was terrifying. He was so much stronger than me. He didn't succeed, and after some moments of me struggling, he let go. He just stood there, looking defeated, while I literally ran out of the kitchen and got some stuff and went to my parents. I'm there now. It's been the better part of a week. He's agreed to move out, put up no fight for the flat or for us, which I wouldn't accept of course anyway. When we spoke on the phone to decide this, he sounded ashamed. Quiet. I hope he's ashamed. I'll never know why he suddenly snapped about my vegetarianism, and I frankly don't care anymore. He's obviously just a wanker to do that anyway. This past month or so has been so different to the test of our relationship. It's crazy, but there's no coming back from this. I'm well shot of him.